Let's hit the theme music and let's get started.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Welcome to a new episode of Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do. My name is Neil.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to this special Sunday edition of us recording. Because what says, hey, we love movies more than anything in the world and interrupting people while they're watching the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, that's happening right now, isn't it?
Yeah, Dallas is losing 17-23, 1 minute and 31 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
and the Kansas City Chiefs play next.
And, I really, again, I don't even know. I like football.
You should know, man.
Why?
They're playing in your town today. It's like the only stadium that almost sold out, for a football game. All the other ones have seats everywhere still available. Anyway, so the two movies that we are reviewing today is first we are going to review the one of Shakespeare's most famous art piece.
I'd say Hamlet is. Hamlet, I think it's more important.
Really?
Yeah.
Hamlet?
Yeah, that's what they tell. That's what they teach in school. That's what they did. Well,
Romeo and Juliet they teach in school.
Yeah, they teach Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. If I had to pick one of those, I'd pick Hamlet, though.
Okay. You sure it's not Merchant of Venice?
Yeah, I mean, what I learned in school in Texas and in college was basically
What
Hamlet.
about Much Ado About Nothing?
That's a popular one, and I know that Joss Whedon did a version of that.
You know what? What about one of his best legendary art pieces of all time, one of his best works, Shakespeare in Love?
Right, that one's the number one. Right?
Number one by far. But this is The Tragedy of Macbeth, which was on Apple Plus television.
Directed by one half of the Coen brothers, because just usually Joel and Ethan. But
yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about the directors later.
Okay.
Starring Denzel Washington as Macbeth.
I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Then Frances McDormand as Lady Macbeth.
That did not happen. His hand slipped. He drilled a hole through his own self. Did he say I did it? Well, I guess it's his word against mine then, huh? Kind of like in all those rape cases you hear about. Except this time, the chick ain't losing.
Yeah, that's from 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Yes. And then a big part, Corey Hawkins plays in this as well.
We can no longer endure this kind of oppression without retribution. That war in Vietnam, it is not only illegal, it is immoral. And you know what I tell them? Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
Yeah, that's from Black Klansman.
Yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time. And other people in this movie, Stephen Root, Harry Melling. I mean, can you even imagine that's the kid, the bully from freaking Harry Potter?
Brendan Gleeson's in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's lots of
Gleeson.
And Stephen Root's I think in almost fucking everything, dude. He can play anything.
I swear to God. Wasn't he in another movie? Anyway, then the second movie we're going to do this week is another outing from this new time director, George Clooney. He's a new director guy.
I don't think I've ever heard of him. Who is he?
I don't know. We'll talk about him later. And that is The Tender Bar, starring the one, the only, the greatest Batman of all time, Ben Affleck.
He looked at me standing there in the doorway in my underoos. He said, "Your mother left. She's not coming back." Just like that. Smoking cigarettes and eating a TV dinner at 6 in the morning.
Then the great Ty Sheridan.
Who's the main character?
I don't need no god. I don't need no goddamn boxing lesson. I know what to do. I'll pop him right in the eye. He whooped my ass and threw me out the truck. Because he knew that I were going to kill him. I could kill his ass. I could kill him just as good as you could.
And that's actually from Joe, an underlooked movie, I think. I think it's overlooked.
Yeah, with Nicolas Cage in it, who is now the greatest actor of all time. Lily Raub?
Why can't you be more clever? Like Bobby? Do you think I want to be the camp cook? I slave all day putting food on the table for 100 kids. I do it so that you can have a summer. I sweat blood for you. I will not tolerate sarcasm.
That's from American Horror Story.
Yeah, I know, one of the greatest shows of all time. And then, if not one of the greatest, the greatest comedic actors in all of history time. You know him as the man who tried to destroy Toontown. He's the one that brought Marty McFly back from the past to the future. He is the one, the only, so nice. He should have been named twice, Mr. Christopher Lloyd.
How do you do, Mr. or Mrs. Fill-in name of couple? I'm your name here, but you can call me nickname. It's very nice to see you this afternoon. May I ask you, are you satisfied with your present vacuum cleaner?
Well, ours hasn't been working too well lately, but
May I come in and talk to you about Magic Carpet Wizard?
I suppose so. Yes, okay.
Okay. I did it. I got in. I'm going to do okay at this job.
That's from a Taxi Driver. The taxi.
That's Taxi.
Yeah, Taxi.
Taxi Driver is a movie with Robert De Niro. Exactly. Taxi is an award-winning, groundbreaking comedy show from 1978 to 1983. But yes.
Okay, you can find us on moviesdon'tsuck.net. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/moviesdon'tsuck podcast. We're on Twitter at MTS Podcast. We're on Instagram at MTS Podcast. If you want to buy shirts with the name, go to patreon.com/moviesdon'tsuck or patreon.com/moviesdon'tsuck and something to do. You'll find icons, merch. We're on all streaming platforms. Look at that.
Yeah, Chris, tell them where they can find us.
Moviesdon'tsuck.net, facebook.com/moviesdon'tsuck podcast.
I'm just kidding. You're jumping the gun on everything, man. Chill out. Take a breather. Do you need an edible?
No, I had some coffee and it's still with me. So
take a couple sips of your beer, man. All right, those are the two movies, and plus this week the business that we are going to be giving our support to is Nothing's Left Brewing Company. They brew the weird beer. Yes, Nothing's Left. They make what they want to drink. Their beers are tasted in the heat of festivals and with the beer consumers of the great state of Oklahoma. If it passes the trials of the Oklahoma beer drinkers and the ultimate test of the brewmaster, they put it in production with drinks like D's Nuts, Strawberry Blonde, Salted Watermelon Crusher. They have a new beer that just came out today, which is the Milkshake beer, which has a flavor of Fruit Loops to it. And their new Almond Joy Stout beer. I was there a couple weeks ago. Great place. It's located at 1502 East 6th Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Again, that's 1502 East 6th Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can look them up on Facebook. Their location is at Nothing's Left Brewery Co. Or you can look them up on their website at nothingsleftbrew.co.
Cool, man. I'm glad that you're go ahead and helping out local businesses like that. There's one here, but we'll talk about them next week.
You got another one here?
Yeah, we got one here. I don't think we talked about it yet. No, it's a good one. And
okay, cool. Yeah, send me that information. I'll be more than happy to just make sure you email that or give me a DM of that information, Chris, and I'll be more than happy to help your local business out.
All right. I don't know if you have been watching us on YouTube from the beginning. I think Neil mentioned that he had COVID this week.
I didn't really put it out there on the social media platforms.
No,
I only told I told the people that I know, but yes, I will tell you guys now. The reason we are doing this today and not our normal Thursday night was because I almost died. And, I got the COVID. But because I was a smart human being and went out and got the vaccine, I got the Transformer version, the Omicron Transformers.
The Omicron
Yeah, but
version. Yeah.
But after Christmas and New Year's, it hit the entire United States. Let's not just say here in Tulsa, but it did hit here, Tulsa. This is the highest spike in COVID in this city the entire pandemic. And
I think that's true with a lot of cities too.
It was ridiculous. But because we have the vaccine, it was just like having a really bad version of the flu.
Did you know where you got it, who you got it from, or where you got it, or did it just?
No, I mean, to be very honest, we were very immature. Last weekend, we went to 2 different birthday parties. We went to a hockey game. I think at one point I was at a strip club. It's just, I don't know where. And to be honest, any one of the places I went, I could have got it. I'm not going to blame anyone or blame an establishment or anything like that.
I'm just trying to see if you could trace it back to someone, just let them know, Like
I anybody that was around me, I made it very clear that I personally messaged them and was like, hey man, I don't know where I caught this at, but I know it was on Friday or Saturday.
But how you feeling now? I know that you started to notice it Monday, and by Tuesday you were like, I'm fucking feel like shit. Wednesday you were sleeping most of the time. Thursday you felt like you were dying.
I slept pretty much. Actually, I slept pretty much from Monday until Friday.
And how many times did you poop here Monday through Friday?
I didn't.
Yeah, so like a dog. If your dog's not pooping, it's probably sick. So yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're pooping now.
Yeah. I have a toilet seat on my seat that I'm using.
Oh, so you just
I'm pooping while I'm talking to you.
Oh,
so
nice.
I figured,
nice.
I figured shit could come out of my mouth and my ass at the same time.
100%,
yeah. But I feel a lot better. I'm at 100, and I'm I still have like kind of a sore throat.
Sure.
But it's just the leftover at this point. It's not even bothersome. I don't there's a point where I couldn't even think. I started turning on movies and stuff like that to put on in the background. Like I turned on the Harry Potter series because I knew it would just continue playing and I wouldn't have to think. It was the worst brain fog, and I'm not gonna lie. Like it was just so many different things. I just couldn't think positively. I did a podcast. I think it was on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, with
our friend Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
And by any means, I thought, man, I'm going to be able to do this just fine. And I tried to add to the conversation as much as I could. But, and I even loaded myself up. Like I shot a lot of caffeine into my system. I took, I think I was on Mucinex, Advil. I was sucking on Halls. I was doing it. And I'm just glad that my camera isn't 4K. Because they would have been able to see me. I was just wearing a regular T-shirt too. I wasn't even wearing an undershirt like I am now, and I was just sweating like the whole time. And I'm just like, yes, I really like that wrestling match. I was trying to add stuff to it. So, but they did ask me to come back for more shows. So I'm going to do a couple episodes with them about some wrestling coming up. They're doing one about they're doing old WrestleManias leading up to WrestleMania, and one of them is WrestleMania 18. They're going to be doing soon, and I was like, well, I was there, so I would be the first greatest guest to have.
So awesome.
And so yeah. How's your week been?
Fine. I'm working, but this coming week we are doing a early podcast as well because I'm going to Colorado. In Denver, we has a tattoo appointment with the artist there, so we're flying in Thursday night, getting tattoo Friday, and flying back on Saturday. So
you're getting a tattoo. That's the whole point. Is just to go there to get a tattoo.
She has an artist that she found online that she really likes. and so she wants to support this woman artist. So
I can barely afford gas to get down the street, and your guys are just jumping on a plane like it's nothing.
You've seen my bike flip tattoo. So like that was by Amy Zhao in New York City or New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know if there are any artists here that can do as quality as a job as someone down that. So we was gonna go to her, but then she found someone else who like specializes in skate tattoos, and so we wants to go skate tattoo there. And I
know your wife is a great skateboarder.
Skate, roller skates, not skateboarder, but
oh, I thought you meant skateboarder.
Quad skates. We're going to San Diego in March to go to a skating convention.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have a friend there that we'll be hanging out with a lot when we're there, and yeah, I think, and then in June we're going to their wedding in Rhode Island. Like that couple that we know in San Diego, they're getting married in Providence. So we'll be flying
Rhode
there.
Island?
Yeah, we'll be flying there.
Why are they going to the other side of the world, the United States, to get married?
That's where his wife Amara lives. Like that's where her family's at. So
that's weird. But then all your friends from San Diego can't make it.
I mean, I'll be there. I'll be there.
You're not from San Diego.
No, but this is actually Ryan who does the Record Night podcast with me, and so I got, like anything that happens to you, you have another wedding or something, or like something like that, I'll be flying to wherever you're at. If you're in Calgary in Canada, I'll be there. So I just gotta be supportive.
All right, well, that's intriguing. I can't wait. I can't wait to go.
When I go to Providence, too, I will be visiting H.P. Lovecraft's house.
Nice. Now, when did he send out the invitations? Because I can't find mine.
I don't think Ryan knows you that well.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I see how it is. I
don't know if you've ever met him, actually.
Anyway.
Have you met him?
I don't think I've ever met him at all, dude. 100%. I don't think I ever met the guy. If I did, I don't remember.
Okay.
But my memory anyway. So, well, let's talk about Macbeth.
The tragedy
of Macbeth.
Directed by Joel Cohen. Joel Cohen is half of the Coen brothers. This is the first movie that Joel Cohen has done without his brother Ethan. But you guys know them from basically all the best shit. Inside Llewyn Davis, True Grit, A Serious Man, Bertha Reading, fucking The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Hail Caesar, Bridge of Spies. They wrote that. No Country for Old Men, The Lady Killers, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, The Big Lebowski, Fargo, Raising Arizona. But this
Lumberjacks at Play.
What was that?
Lumberjacks at the Hudsucker Proxy.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah. World Cinema.
Yeah, but this is the first movie that Joel has done without his brother Ethan. So we're all interested to see that, and this is the adaptation of William Shakespeare's The Macbeth, starring Denzel Washington playing the titular role of Macbeth.
I'm the man up in this piece.
Also, we have Frances McDormand as Lady Macbeth.
That did not happen.
We got Alex Assholes Ross, Brady Cavell as Banquo, Brendan Gleeson as Duncan, and Corey Hawkins as Macduff.
We can no longer endure this kind of oppression without retribution.
We got Harry Mellon as Malcolm, Miles Anderson as Lennox, Matt Dillon. There's all kinds of fucking people in this. Ralph Ineson, who was in one of my favorite movies, The Witches, in this. So why don't you go ahead and read the storyline of this?
Is there a storyline?
There is.
Okay. A Scottish lord becomes convinced by a trio of witches that he will become the next king of Scotland, and his ambitious wife supports him in his plans of seizing power.
So this movie is a Shakespeare play throughout and through. So if you're really high or not paying attention, good luck figuring it out. You have to.
Really, dude? You never studied Shakespeare?
I did. I'm saying if you're not like familiar with that type of speaking, because Shakespeare, his shit is like poetry. It's beautiful. I know there are plenty of people out there that hate Shakespeare. I like Shakespeare a lot. So.
Oh, you a big Shakespeare reader?
I'm not a big one. I like him more than most people hate him. So I mean, where are you on Shakespeare, William Shakespeare? What do you think of his stuff?
I think light as a feather, heavy as the soul, ease me to the better ones that have felt me before. Times have come, times have changed, winds have always oppressed me. I have come around to thee to just know that I will always see.
Okay, so you like Shakespeare?
When I was a kid, I was a weird kid, and I read a lot of Greek Roman mythology, and I also read Latin and stuff like that. And for some reason, I read a lot of poetry too, gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the poets that I've read now. I can't even think of any right now.
There? Bukowski as a young child.
Sure. But 100%. But Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas is one of my favorites. I was trying to think of who it was. But so yeah, I memorized a couple lines of Shakespeare here and there. Because of that, because I tried so hard, like when I was a kid, reading Shakespeare was difficult. It was. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act like I was a full-blown genius and I knew exactly
what was being said. But
what was being said.
One of the things that Shakespeare's looking at is that what was being said, but also what's between what's being read. Like he's all these underlying things. So the only one I wrote a research paper on Hamlet when I was in college, right? And so I wasn't familiar with the tragedy of Macbeth. So I really, really, really enjoyed this. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the 114th time I've seen Macbeth.
But it's different. Yeah. But because
every time it's different. It doesn't matter who, when, where, what. It's always different.
But
that's
so
like saying
this is in black and white. And one of the things that I thought Joel Coen did a really great job of, one, the cinematography, too, and two, it's the thing is that when it's black and white, you have to use contrast in such a striking way, and this has all the contrast you need. Like, this is beautifully shot, and it's spooky, it's dark, it's creepy. It's all those things that you want when it comes to watching a Coen Brothers film, right? And so I don't think anyone can say, hey, this is a Coen brother, but I do think this is a very, very cool adaptation of that Shakespeare play. Great representation, great use of contrast, and amazing actors. Amazing actors. Denzel was great. Francis was great. Almost everyone in this movie is fantastic at what they're doing.
Yeah, and the look of it, I mean, they built this whole movie on a soundstage. They did not have one outside shot whatsoever. They wanted, Coen had a very idealistic
very specific vision. Yeah,
that he wanted to uphold, which kind of gave it that a very play, like it felt like a play.
Yeah, it did.
Which is great because that's what Shakespeare should feel like, unless it's from the 90s and you need a 9mm with you and the Cardigans singing "Love Me" in the background.
Are you talking about that version of Shakespeare? Version of Romeo and Juliet? He did that one. Fucking what was his name? The guy who did the Great Gatsby as well. I don't remember.
Leo DiCaprio is in it. Claire Danes. Yeah. But
Romeo plus Juliet.
Great soundtrack. Really weird movie though. But this was very stylistic, and to say, I mean, it's Denzel Washington playing off of Francis for half the movie. I mean,
but what else? I could watch a whole fucking 4 hours of that. I really could.
Yeah. And the two of them just ridiculously went at it, had a good time. You could tell that they knew their pieces. I mean, Denzel's done Shakespeare movies before. I think he did Much to Do About Nothing.
Yeah.
I think he did a few years ago.
Version, yeah.
So, I mean, these people played off of each other, but this is the only thing. This is the thing that's going to make every single person that doesn't see this movie and why they didn't see this movie, and this is the reason why. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's because it's Shakespeare and they can't understand what the fuck he's talking about. And it's understandable. I get you guys. I understand. This is not going to be for everybody. This is not the movie you sit down and watch with the family and everybody's like, yeah, this is the greatest movie ever. This is the kind that, you put it on and the kids will be like, really?
Yeah.
What are they even saying? What does it mean? And so this is an intelligent movie. And this is one of the movies. I feel like there's this great conversation I just watched last night, and it was an interview between the main star of one of the main stars of the next movie we're reviewing, and it was Matt Damon interviewing Ben Affleck about the Tinder bar, and he made it very clear. It goes, arts movies like The Last Duel, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and stuff like that can be made now, but it's going to be released on platforms and streaming places, and movie theaters are now probably going to be reserved for just the big blockbusters.
Ben Affleck, he mentioned recently that he's done doing IPs or intellectual property movies like Batman. He says for now on he's gonna do things that are singular, like, because it's very hard because there's such a rabid fan base for IPs that it's hard for anyone. I mean, sometimes it works, but it's hard for everyone to be happy with the performance in something that someone's been growing up with. So he said he's done doing IPs, so no more Batman for Ben Affleck.
Yeah. And to be honest, we'll talk probably a little bit more about that later. But because he actually gave a lot of, it was like a 45-minute interview I watched last night. Anyway, but this movie here, thank God, like Apple Plus supported it. Thank God that and that's what I pretty much think with like drama movies and movies that aren't the big blockbusters and the A24 movies. Like this was an A24 movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With those kind of studios and stuff like that, that's pretty much where you're going to have to find them. I think because of everything going on with the pandemic, it's kind of canceling. They're showing people what movies aren't making money at the theater anymore.
Yeah, Screenland's a bit different. They're going to try to do this as long as they can. But again, they were saying, go see these big movies so people can also see the little movies. They making a big deal about that. And so, but you're right. All these, the Tragedy of Macbeth had me 3 showings before it was aired. 3 showings a day before it was airing on Apple TV. So I really like it. I'm a big fan of indie film. Like that's my shit.
And that's what I'm saying. They're still going to be, but things like this, I think you're going to have to go look for more than just it's going to be out there. Because like if you think about it, like back in the 90s, you'd walk into a movie theater and there'd be Speed over here, but then you'd have like Mississippi Burning playing next to it, or you'd have like Pelican Brief playing next to it, or stuff that you never heard of with actors and stuff like that. But I thought this was good, and it visually, Denzel brought it. Denzel brought what Denzel brings.
He's amazing. He's amazing. And I really enjoyed this version of it. So kudos to everyone in this movie. It's crazy. It's crazy how good it was. So do you have quotes? You got quotes?
Yes, actually, I figured out a way to do it. Okay. I just couldn't write a lot of stuff down, guys, and usually I do. But this one I did figure out a good way to do it. So I got a couple here. Percent fears are less than horrible imaginings. There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. Come what may come, time and the hour runs through even the roughest of days. Where's you at? Double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. I had to get that one because that was, that's like legendary. Isn't that the legendary line for Macbeth?
Yeah. Well, it's also like when anyone talks about a witch to casting a spell, they choose that one. Yeah.
I'm afraid they have awkward and this not done. The attempt and not the deed confines us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. And things without all remedy should be without regard. What is done is done. Okay. Chris, what do you think? Give me your score.
4.2 on this one.
I'll go a 4.0 on it. I liked it a lot. I feel like sometimes when they were doing it,
do you think there's like a price of admission to you, like that going in, if you don't like Shakespeare, this won't change your mind? Like that's a lot of people.
Yeah. This won't change your mind. And that's the thing. And like when they say things, I think sometimes they needed to slow down a little. Because if I didn't have subtitles on,
you need to watch this with subtitles.
Yeah. If I didn't have subtitles on, there are a couple of scenes that I would have lost track of exactly what they were discussing. You know, it's one of those movies you can't look away from the screen, or you're gonna lose. You're not gonna understand what the hell's going on.
So the thing is that Shakespeare, he wrote a very specific way, and he wrote in a way that no one actually spoke in that time. Like you know, like no one was that. No one's that.
Nothing he's ever written was ever written the way anybody ever talk ever.
Yeah, and so like we were saying that Shakespeare, his words are like they are poetry, 100%.
No, 100%. William Shakespeare is the Wes Anderson of plays. Like he has his own style, his own way of doing things back then.
And so like a lot of people are, you know, going to turn their nose up at it. They're going to be like, this shit sucks because they don't like Shakespeare. And so there is a price of admission, knowing going in that this is Shakespeare, even though it's trimmed down because it's not the whole fucking thing. Joel Cohen made a big deal about bringing this down to a manageable hour and 45 minutes. You're not being here for 2 to 3 hours seeing Macbeth. Joel Cohen trimmed it down and made it. He did his thing with it, and I'm
wow.
And
yeah,
I'm actually very, very, very pleased with that. So there's a price of admission, but again, I really fucking enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it was great, and just like I said, man, if you are going into this movie trying to be like, am I going to ever love Shakespeare? Well, this is it. This is Shakespeare. This is what you get. And if if you don't like this, then it's just the way it's going to go.
Yeah. All right, man. Now I'm at RottenTomatoes.com. I want you to guess the audience score for this one.
$72.
81%.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't think people like Shakespeare that much, so I went lower.
So, critic score.
89.
93.
Man, okay, well, at least I went up, and they went up.
The critics' consensus is led by stellar Denzel Washington. Tragedy of Macbeth strips the classic story down to its visual and narrative essentials.
Interesting.
The tragedy of Macbeth. We've been,
You're the tragedy of Macbeth.
I might be.
You're a tragedy.
Cool.
Are you a tragedy?
A tragedy. I have a question, man.
What?
I know that the world woke back up. So, do we have any news?
Dude, do we have news? Shh. Yeah, we got news. It's the one thing I made sure we had. This is the Movies That Don't Suck and some of the news. We tell you the news, I read it to him, and he acts like he haven't heard any of it.
I've been kind of busy. I haven't heard any of it. Because I've been working every night this week now, and I've just been fucking just laying down afterwards. Like,
let's talk about something that happened 7 days ago.
Okay, a week ago.
Yeah, that I don't think anybody watched it. Was it even on TV? Who knows?
Okay.
But it was the 79th annual Golden Globes.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
The big one for the night being Best Motion Picture and a Drama, which was won by none other than The Power of the Dog.
We like that movie quite a bit.
We were a big fan. Best Picture, Musical or Comedy was West Side Story.
Yeah.
Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama was Will Smith for King Richard, was the winner.
Well deserved.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture in a movie that we haven't watched yet, and is Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos.
Yeah, I know. Everyone talks about that movie, and a lot of people have a problem with the Golden Globes is the Hollywood Foreign Press that does it. So I don't know. We'll probably get to it, but I don't know when.
Right. Yeah, right. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Musical Comedy, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom.
Great movie.
best performance by an actress in a musical or comedy is Rachel Ziegler for West Side Story, who played Maria.
Yeah.
Best director is Jane Champion for Power of the Dog.
That movie snuck up on everyone, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Listen, best supporting actor, Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog.
Yeah, it's a big word.
Like, best supporting actress was Arena DeBose. Not Maria. She played the sister or whatever in West Side Story.
Okay.
I can't remember what the part was. Best mini television series drama was Succession on it from HBO.
I've been watching the episodes of that. I need to catch up though. Like, so have you watched it yet?
No, I have not. I have not. I'm actually
Peacemaker,
watching.
right?
I already watched Peacemaker. Yeah, I went through. And everybody out there, if you have not seen Peacemaker, one, do not watch it in front of your kids. If you have kids, do not. This is not a kid-friendly show just because John Cena's in it and superheroes.
I mean, if you see,
oh my God, it is so funny.
Okay, it's funny.
It is one of the funniest things ever.
So it's James Gunn funny, basically, right?
Yeah. Best performance by an actor in a TV series, of course, is Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso again.
Gotta be.
Like, I mean, best performance by an actress is Jean Smart for a show called Hacks.
That's where's that? I know it's a streaming platform. I just can't remember where it's at. Which one it is?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says Hacks. Then winner, and I love this one because anytime this guy gets a trophy, makes me happy in all my places. Best performance by an actor in a limited series, anthology series, motion picture made for television. Michael Keaton for Dope Sick.
Yeah.
Now, have you watched Dope Sick?
No, I've been meaning to.
Oh man, we've watched at least the first 3 or 4 episodes. Me and my wife have.
Oh yeah.
And oh man, yeah, it's a great show.
By the way,
you got to be in the mood for it.
Hacks on HBO Max, so we can watch that easy.
Oh, nice. And here we go. Are you ready for this? This is the one I think made everybody's night. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Best supporting actor for television or series, Oh Wong-soo, the old man, #1 from Squid Game.
Was he there? Do you know if he was at the? I mean,
I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was sick at the time, dude. Like I was already in a coma.
Yes.
But those are just some of the Golden Globe. You can go look them up, of course, on the Golden Globes. But man, Power of the Dog, right?
Yeah, it was in my honorable mentions.
It's one of those movies that it just surprised everybody.
Yeah, and I remember I had to convince you to watch it, and you're like, dude, you texted me like, dear, and you're like, what the fuck? like at the end of it, you're like, dude.
Yeah, it was a great movie. So, all right. So talking about Denzel Washington, who we just talked about.
Yeah.
He just made a quote. He gets to beat people up again because he's starting to film what movie, Chris?
Man on Fire 2.
No, The Equalizer
3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
So that is starting. He says they have written the third Equalizer, so I'm scheduled to do that already. So I got to get in shape, start beating people up again. I got to beat people up all day long. It's going to be awesome. The Tragedy of Macbeth, and then I did the Tragedy of Macbeth, and now I'm going and beating some people up. Can't get any better than that in life.
How old is he? He's got to be close to 70. Yeah, 67 years old.
He's close to retire. He said he's close to retiring.
Yeah, I mean,
remember? Go ahead.
I was just like. You know, he just looks still so good. 67, still looks menacing. Yeah.
Just don't say "damn." You know, like
yeah.
Anyway, remember the movie Real Steel with Hugh Jackman and the big robot fighting arenas?
Hugh Jackman, yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman is. But Disney Plus is now making a Real Steel series adaptation for their streaming service. So I don't.
I've never seen it.
Go ahead.
So I've never seen it, so I don't know if Hugh Jackman is going to be in it or he's not going to be in it.
Yeah, I don't know if Hugh Jackman's going to be a part of it or whatever. But if you haven't seen Real Steel, it's actually a really good, heartfelt. Yeah, it's a real good heartfelt movie. Okay. It's a really good heartfelt movie.
It's got some heart. Right?
Yeah, it's got a lot of heart. Sean Levy will be directing the series. Robert Zemeckis will be one of the producers on the series. So, I mean, what can you go wrong? You know,
Yeah.
at least you got some people to give it a try. Red Notice 2 and 3 are already in early
2 and
developments, and they will be filming them back to back.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And talking about Red Notice and those people in it, Gal Gadot will be in a remake where she will be taking the lead of a famous Alfred Hitchcock movie where they twist it and make it a female lead instead to catch a thief.
Okay. I mean, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm interested in that because I like Alfred Hitchcock. If you can, modernize Alfred Hitchcock, there's some good stories that you could bring.
Yeah. He's a master guy.
All right. So the director of one of your favorite movies, in fact, I think your favorite movie of 2021, Pig, Michael Sarnowski, is going to be the director of a spin-off of A Quiet Place.
Interesting. So is it going to be like what's the spinoff going to follow?
All the information says here is his quote on it, and I knew after a couple of flops that I've been marginalized in the studio system, and I wasn't going to get invited by them. He says, I always knew that if it would take a good filmmaker. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is Nicolas Cage stating about this. I am so sorry. I read the wrong part. Hey,
Also,
guys,
that's
my
strange.
brain still a little foggy. But he's in negotiations on Paramount Pictures to direct the spinoff. It's going to be written by John
Krasinski.
Jim from The Office.
Yeah,
the currently untitled film is based on the original idea and takes place in the same world as Quiet Place.
I do like John Krasinski doing their directing and writing, but I kind of wish he would maybe branch out a little bit and not do something that's already established, or do something new, which I'd be excited about. I mean, I do like those movies. I like part 1 and 2, and I'd be excited to see this. But when it comes to doing other films, other genres, or maybe just different ideas themselves, I'd prefer that, I think.
Right. All right. So that's cool. National Treasure. If you want a third one, guess what, guys?
It's happening.
It's not going to happen.
What?
You're instead going to get a National Treasure, the show, on Disney Plus. So they are working on Disney's National Treasure cast friend for Lisette Alexa Jess, including Parenthood's Lyndon Smith and Stargirl's Jake Austin Walker, have all been casted for a new take on the National Treasure series.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Did you collect Beanie Babies in the 90s?
I was not one of those people.
You were one of those people?
I was not one of those people. I was not one of those people.
Zach Galifianakis and Elizabeth Banks is going to star in Apple Plus's movie The Beanie Bubble, which will take place. We'll talk about the Beanie Babies during the 90s and when they went through that whole thing. Yeah, so
I mean,
that's going to be.
They're both great. I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, it's the description of the movie reads, it pulls back the curtain on the absurd and injustice of the American dream, particularly the female relation to it. It's a celebration of women who helped power Ty Warren's success, whose strengths and good instincts shape and amplify the phenomena.
Yeah, cool.
So probably talk about that group of women that actually will, I don't know. This year the Oscars will have a host because they haven't had a host since 2018.
Who's it going to be?
Right now, it says that they are eyeing Pete Davidson.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like him. I know you really liked him in The King of Staten Island. I heard they were thinking about doing Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Martin who?
Short.
Who's that?
He's a big time. He's I
know Martin.
You love both of them. You love Steve Martin Short, don't you? I can tell you're one of those dudes who they'll do anything you watch it, right?
I love Martin Short. Anything he does or touches, I'm like all over that. I will touch its no-nos with its whoa-wows and its woo-woos and its boo-boos.
We talk about Clifford a bit. That movie.
Talking about John Cena that we talked about earlier, him and Allison Brie are going to be starring in an action comedy called Freelance together.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch it all day.
Yeah.
All day long.
Allison Brie, I'll watch anything she's in.
Oh, directed by Taken's director, Pierre Morrell.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
I'm down.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, it says the script centers on an ex-special forces operator who is desperate to escape his humdrum life, takes a job providing security for a journalist who is hoping to salvage her career by interviewing a dictator. What more can go? There we go.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
ready.
done. We're ready.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to see it. Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Cast.
Wes Anderson.
I know. Cast Benedict Cumberbatch in new Roald Dahl project, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
So is this the movie that's been made or not? Because there's a movie called Rocket, I think, coming out with the made.
This is a book. Roald Dahl's short stories is found on a friend's shelf by a bored and silly playboy, Henry Sugar, whose day's furious activities are spoiled by a rainy day. With nothing to do, he picks up the book and tells of a doctor's tale that takes place in India.
Interesting. It's just that Roald Dahl, he's kind of problematic when it comes to some of the things he said and some of the things he believed. But yeah, well, I mean, I'm open to seeing that.
And an upcoming Apple Plus Studios biopic.
God, they're doing fucking everything, aren't they? Apple Plus.
Yeah. Rooney Maria. Am I saying that right? Rooney Maria?
Rooney Mara.
Yeah, what was she in?
She was Elizabeth.
She's in the movie. The girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah,
right?
That's her.
Okay. She is going to Nightmare Alley. She was in Nightmare Alley too.
She was my
Yeah. She's going to be playing Audrey Hepburn in a biopic.
I can definitely see that in my hearing you say that. I'm like, yeah, that works. I can see the
100%. So that's who they cast for that. All right, we got two more. We got an animated series is coming to Netflix.
Okay.
Called Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, they're doing an anime version of it. I'm sure a lot of people were just in the pants over this.
Creators Brian Leo Miley and Ben David Grabson are doing a series. Yes, Sex Bomb is warming up their guitars and having a comeback.
I'll watch it.
One of Chris's favorite Christmas series of all times is going to be doing a limited series that will serve as a continuation of the film series. Over at Disney Plus, Tim Allen has agreed to come back to play the Santa Claus.
So I don't know why you told me that's my favorite. I don't think it even made my top 10.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But I heard about that, him coming back to do this. Like, how much do they offer him? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. But the thing is, $10 probably be enough for him right now. I mean, he's not making a whole lot of anything.
Did he do the voice for Lightyear, though? That's coming out.
Yeah. No, Lightyear, he did not do the voice. Chris Evans did.
Look at that. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
I can tell you, man, that like for the next 5 years or so, you're going to hear David Bowie in every single fucking commercial because he sold his catalog. So you'll be hearing like all that shit all over the place. But yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, this
is it. This is the big one. Okay. I feel like this is the big one.
Okay.
FX has revealed as of 2 days ago, they are bringing back one of their number one shows of all time with the actual lead cast that was in the movie, or the show, I should say. They are bringing back Justified.
A lot of people are excited about this. I haven't never seen Justified.
Oh man, Tiffany! Oh, that's like one of his best roles he ever played in the history
I
of
heard it's
any
great. I
roles
heard it's
ever
great.
played.
You know, it's really great.
Yeah, he did a great job, and yeah, they're working on a new season of the show, which will pretty much pick up where it left off.
Okay, I'm interested for sure.
I'm interested. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to touch myself in places while watching it that nobody can. Wait a minute. No, I shouldn't say that on the air. Anyway, but that's the news. Let's get to the final movie. That is the movies that don't suck and some of the new news. I give Chris information, even though I was the one that was dying this week.
I mean, I was fine canceling, but you want?
I know, I'm just kidding.
So,
oh no, man, I just want to get it out. And plus, I just hate to tell you this: your Dallas Cowboys are not going to the Super Bowl.
Whatever. I don't care. So we're talking about The Tender Bar, directed by George Clooney. He did one movie last year called The Midnight Sky. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's also a good director in his own right. He did, the first one he did was the one that everyone knows about is Good Night and Good Luck, which is great. Eyes of March, Wayne Newton. But he's also an actor. So you guys know him from fucking ER. A bunch of episodes of ER. And he's been in everything. Roseanne. Bodies of Evidence, Sisters. He's been in everything. It's George Clooney. If you don't know who he is, I mean, what the fuck, dude? He's been in 109 episodes of ER as Doug Ross.
He's the second to worst Batman of all time.
Oh yeah, he's not good. He's not a good Batman, but he's a good actor.
No, he's the second to worst.
Yeah. This stars Ty Sheridan as the main character of JR.
I don't need no goddamn boxing lesson. I know what to do.
And then we got Ben Affleck, the amazing Ben Affleck as Uncle Charlie.
He looked at me standing there in the doorway in my underoos.
And we also got Lily Robb as Mom. That's all she's known as in the movie, is Mom.
Why can't you be more clever?
Like Bobby.
And then also we have the amazing Christopher Lloyd as Grandpa.
How do you do, Mr. or Mrs. Fill-in name of couple?
So, yeah, it also stars Max Martini as the voice, Rinzi Feliz as Wesley, Brian Milton as Sidney, Max Casella as Chief, Sandra Jane's Grandma, Michael Braun as Bobo, Matthew DeLemon as Joey D, and Kate and Quincy Tyler Burstein as Sidney. Just people that you've seen everywhere, where you go, I know that face. Why don't you go ahead and read this?
I know that face.
Yeah. Go to the storyline and read that.
Oh, of course. A boy seeks a replacement for his father, who disappeared shortly after his birth, and bonds with his Uncle Charlie and the patrons at a bar in Long Island. Uncle Charlie works as a bartender there and knows all of the staff and regular patrons. He is a charismatic individual, and all of his friends are eager to initiate Junior into their rituals. Junior listens closely to the stories of these men and relies on these stories for guidance on how to live.
A horrible description, honestly, right away, because it makes it seem like that JR just hangs out at the bar the whole time, which is not the case. He does do that.
No.
He does do that.
He does hang out at the bar, but that's not a good. Why did you have me read that then?
I don't know, dude. Blame IMDb. So, this movie. So right away, it's not written by George Clooney. It's a screenplay by William Monahan. Should mention that. Right? Monahan's has written such things.
And J.R. Waring, who it's his story. It's his life. It's his memoir.
This guy's done Edge of Darkness, The Gambler, Tinder Bar, Marlowe is coming out, Mojave.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to mention that there's things to not like about this movie, but the best thing, the 100% best thing in this movie is Ben Affleck as Uncle Charlie. Like no question, Uncle Charlie.
No question. Like, and the little kid, Daniel Rennery.
Yeah, young JR. Yeah.
I mean, he was just amazing in his role as young JR.
Yeah.
I mean, just adorable. And then Christopher Lloyd, not admitting to one fart the entire movie, was just a great. I mean, they got the cast, they got the people to make this movie the way it it was supposed to be. The cast was there. The thing about this movie
is nothing really happens.
Well, that's okay. No, something happens.
Yeah.
I mean, a kid grows up. He's being taught some of the hardest lessons in life.
Yeah.
But there's just like this there's a part like right in the middle of the end. Like, I'm not talking like in the middle of the movie itself, but there's like in the middle of the
third act. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the third act where it kind of loses itself for a little bit. Like, it just kind of doesn't understand what it is, and then. But then it comes back around to where, now we know what it is. Now we figure it out at the end. But the thing is, I think there's just this little part in the middle of the third act that it just kind of loses itself.
I agree.
Like, you don't know if you're looking at a man reflecting on life and liberty and everything going on. If he's trying to reimagine his life, if this is now a love story, or is this a telling of one's family? But like, it just somehow loses its feelings in there for a second. Like, you just didn't know where it was kind of going. But then when it comes back around to what it was, and it hits you in the heartstrings, it really goes, here it is. This is what we were trying to get to. Here's what we're talking about.
And I think we both agree that Ben Affleck is the best thing about this movie, right? Like when it comes to an actor doing his thing, Ben Affleck is a master. He's a great actor.
There is, again, only one person that does a better part in their part of this movie, and that is Christopher Lloyd denying every fart that he had. But yeah, this is a Ben Affleck movie. This is like. And the thing is, he reminded me of, and maybe it's weird, I don't know, but you remember, this is like if the bully from Dazed and Confused grew up to be an actual good guy. You remember the character Ben Affleck played in Ben Affleck? Because like, he dressed like the character from Dazed and Confused a lot. But I mean, I think they did a really good job working it out. There was a lot of good scenes, a lot of good information scenes. But like I said,
they made it seem like that the time period was perfectly captured. And Ty Sheridan, I don't really like him as an actor, but he was good in this. I'm fine with the Ty Sheridan being an actor in this. The voice.
He played an alcoholic asshole really well.
Yeah. His dad, the voice was fine. Max Martini was cool.
Oh yeah,
but
was a major douchebag. You just wanted to punch him the whole time, anytime he came up on the screen.
But I mean, a lot of people can connect to the story. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Why did JR spend so long doing this one thing?" We'll talk about off air. But yeah, man, I like this movie. But like again, it has its issues. Pacing issues, toning issues, but to me, Ben Affleck, without Ben Affleck in this movie, I don't think I would like it near as much as I do.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I really, because the reason why I liked it was because, and probably why I liked it probably a little bit more than you did, was because growing up, I didn't have a father.
Right.
I was a kid, like this kid where I was trying to look for who's my father figure.
Yeah.
And at one point in this movie, they make it the grandfather. At one point in the movie, it's him trying to leech on to anybody and everybody, trying to figure out who's that, influence in his life that makes him, who's his father. So his father figure. And then all of a sudden it just kind of lands on him like, oh, it's my Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie's always been my Uncle Charlie's a good dude.
Yeah. And Uncle Charlie gives some pretty good advice, throughout the movie.
And he always reflects on what Uncle Charlie told him. Like when he was doing anything, he was saying, what would Uncle Charlie would tell me. So
and that's what I think. And there's a lot of, again, and plus it's George Clooney working with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
You
also have to think about, you get to think about who it's a family drama, right? So like you sort of figure that part out, what's going on there. So it's about family. It's about the stainless kid, and it's based on a memoir. So it's supposedly all true. I liked it, but again, to me, it's not perfect. It had its issues, but you know, Ben Affleck being in this and George Clooney getting the best he could out of that lovable character, fantastic. That part. I mean, Ben Affleck was nominated for a Golden Globe, and I don't see him not being nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in this movie. So,
and it was really, really good. I liked it. I was good about it. Let's give some quotes, and we'll give our numbers on this one. How about that?
Sure.
What do you think about that?
I'm into that, you bastard.
You asshole. Falling in love is a blessing. Try to enjoy it. If you get your heart broken, you'll live. Women decide if they want something or if they don't, and it becomes very obvious very fast. Why does Grandpa say we should all clear out? Because he's a selfish old prick who resents taking care of his family. Oh, like Dad. No, honey. Grandpa resents taking care of his family. Your father has just never taken care of anyone. Come on, where's that other one? I just had it. You're a stingy, crazy old bastard, and you're not stingy with money. I haven't got any. Well, you're stingy with love anyway. Here's the thing. You gotta have it. I don't know what it is, but if you don't have it, immediately you'll never get it. A doctor at school says, I have no identity. Well, Jesus, get one. The boy won't tell me what his name stands for. It doesn't stand for anything. His name is JR. Deal with it. And everybody's lucky. Everybody alive is lucky, and we're descended from the lucky. Our ancestors were all either fast, smart, or had a really good immune system. Luck is why all of us are here.
Okay, that's yeah, man. That's so I gave my score last time. First, you give yours first.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this a 3.8. I really liked it. But there's a part in there that just kind of, like I said, it wanders away a little bit, and you kind of get lost in what's going on there. And man, if that section could have just been solid, if that part there could have just figured out what was going on, I think this movie would have been a 4.5 easily. But it's just, there's this part there that I just think it kind of loses what it was.
I think it's very muted. I think it's, I think, like you said, there was a little meandering. It just, something about it didn't work for me, but I don't hate this movie. It's 3.6 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck in it would have brought it down. Without Ben Affleck, it brought it down to me 3.2, maybe 3.1.
Yeah, Ben Affleck freaking is the reason it's so high for me too, because Ben Affleck knocked it out of the park. And then I watched the interview with him and Matt Damon after this movie, and how he was just like, the world's been so sad lately. I just want to put something out there that's kind of fun and good, kind of heartfelt.
Yeah, I mean, you want to jump to the screen and give that dude a hug, like let me buy you a beer, dude.
Yeah. And it's like, but you'd have to be in line because other people were buying the beer.
But yeah, the way it makes this scene is that JR goes in the bar and meets all these people, and vice versa, and that's really a small part of the movie. I mean, it's there, but it's not like the heart of the movie. So with the way it's described to a lot of people, I think it's incorrect. But they're trying to focus on Uncle Charlie's character, which is great. I just wish he was in it more. I could have watched the movie just with Uncle Charlie and him talking to JR and then doing shit together. I could have watched that whole thing, but the movie itself.
This is the second time Ben Affleck and George Clooney has worked together. What was the first time?
I don't know.
It was the Oscar-winning Argo.
That's right, Argo.
Okay. Yeah.
So now we're on RottenTomatoes.com. What's the audience score for this movie?
I'm gonna go 69%.
72%. Like we're in the same.
That's close. Yeah.
What's the critic score on this one?
78.
52%.
Oh, they went lower. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. What was their thing?
Critics' consensus is it's well acted and suffused with a warm nostalgic glow, but none of that is enough to overcome the tender bar's sleepy, sentimental noodling, which it was my problem with that. It, like I said, it wandered, and it whatever. But it's a fine movie, Like I liked it.
I mean,
you can do worse on a Saturday afternoon.
You know what the one thing is, though?
What's that?
These movies were fun, it's enjoyable to watch and stuff like that. But to be honest, I just can't get Peacemaker out of my brain. Like, it is like literally one of the funniest. I cannot, like, there's a song by Wigwam, which is the opening credit song for the show, where they're all dancing, these weird dancing routine. And it's like, do you really want it? Is the name of the song. It's like, do you really want it? Like it's 80s, like metal, even though it's like from 2015 or 2010 or whatever. And the whole show is just ridiculously. It's James Gunn at the best of James Gunn. All written, all directed by James Gunn.
I'll have to watch, man. Again, we're in season 2 of Daredevil right now, so.
Yeah, season 2 of Daredevil. You're watching the old school. That's awesome. I'm in season 2 of Daredevil. I've been watching it all
on Netflix, right?
Yeah. That's what I popped on all week to just have in the background. Was Daredevil. I'm on episode 4 of season 2 right now.
We're just on episode 2, season 2. Hey man, we like Daredevil quite a bit. That first season,
dude, right?
That first season is amazing.
Dude, and then the second season leads into all the other shows and stuff like that.
We're gonna see Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist.
You won't see them nonetheless, but you'll see. You might already know.
Punisher's in the second season, right?
Yeah. So the Punisher that comes, and then that show you can go watch the 2 seasons of that. That is fucking phenomenal.
So what's now we're Did Daredevil get canceled or did it finish its story arc?
It's finished its story's arc in a way that it got canceled because Marvel got sold to Disney.
That's right. Okay, so yeah,
and so that's why all of them finished. And but Charlie Cox, as I guess, spoiler alert for Spider-Man: No Way Home.
If you haven't seen No Way Home now, do you really want to see it? You know what I mean? Like,
at this point,
yeah.
In fact, if you watch Saturday Night Live, the opening of this Saturday was the Joe Biden character telling people the only reason that the coronavirus is surging right now is because everybody went to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. So you should not go see Spider-Man No Way Home. And plus, he's still trying to get tickets so he can go see Spider-Man. Anyway, but anyway, but Charlie Cox has got hired back, and spoiler alert for Hawkeye the series, Vincent D'Onofrio, is back as the Kingpin.
Your brother call him Vinny D.
Yeah.
But all right, man. That's the
episode. So what are we doing next week?
Scream and The Lost Daughter.
Now it's called Scream, but it's Scream like 7.
Yeah, Scream
5.
Yeah, Scream 2021.
I think Scream 5.
Or we'll call it Scream 2022. I know that Neil wanted to see it this week, but I know he's gonna be masked up and sitting as far away as he can for people to see this one.
Dude, I am already the Oklahoma Health Board has already said I'm good to be out and about.
Just mask on.
Mask on. And here's something I did not tell you earlier, and I'm going to tell you real quick before we get off. My boss at work called me on Thursday, and he's like, "Hey, man, I hate to tell you this. We already gave away all the tickets for Monday Night Raw this coming up Monday." And he goes, "So there aren't any more." He goes, "But that's okay." He goes, "Because I called the box office directly, the people we work with here at the radio station, and I got you 2 tickets, and I told them you were the biggest wrestling fan I know."
That's awesome.
And that you're going to WrestleMania. So I told the guy that we work with over there at the stadium, that the arena, that to get you the best seats they could in the house. So I got 2 tickets for me for tomorrow night.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
At Monday Night Raw. Which reminds me, I didn't go get a billboard. I need to go do that as soon as I wake up in the morning.
Poster board? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I'm going to write my nephew's, my great nephew. I'm going to write his name on one of the boards.
That's
Hi, Dakota, because he watches Monday Night Raw every week.
That's awesome. You can visit online with MoviesDon'tSuck.net. We're on Facebook, Facebook.com/MoviesDon'tSuck Podcast. We're on Twitter at MTS Podcast. We're on Instagram at MTS Podcast. We're on Twitch. Our tag is MTS Podcast. We're on the, if you guys want shirts or, merch with their name on it, go to bonfire.com/MoviesDon'tSuck and some that do. Go to patreon.com/MoviesDon'tSuck. You want to throw a few checkouts our way, maybe get some bonus content or, an exclusive t-shirt that you can't find anywhere else. And we're on all streaming platforms. Or download wherever you find podcasts, you can find Movies Don't Suck and some that do. What do we do for small business, pal?
If you got a small business, contact us. We'll be more than happy to do some free advertisement for your business. Email us, DM us, or any one of our locations. We'll be more than happy to advertise to our millions of followers or thousands of listeners to make sure that you get your information out there for them.
If you're unplugged, by the way, if you guys don't have any social media accounts, you can send us an old-fashioned email, info@moviesdon'tsuck.net or moviesdon'tsuckpodcast@gmail.com.
And we'll be more than happy to help you out. We love people. We love you. We love everyone. I love you, Chris. You're awesome. I'm just glad I'm not dead.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I was thinking about what would happen. Like I would always stop the podcast. That has to stop. But I'd give one last sort of. I'd go on the air and I'd probably go through our episodes.
Eyes out.
Yeah, and it'd be like you guys want to hear something sad?
I 100% give you 100% freeway to move on with the Movies That Don't Suck name. But the logo has to change with my face somewhere on it.
Okay, that's fair. Same here. It's something that happens to me. You can continue to do this, but you have to figure out how to put it out.
I'll figure it out. I'll have to get a new producer.
All right. And
that's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Something to Do. My name is Neil.
And I'm Chris.
And remember, guys, no matter what day it is, no matter what week it is, the nights can go stronger, the nose can go deeper, and that is the tragedy of 2021. Have a good night.